Welcome back to another episode of 6 and 6, where we cover 6 stories from around the world in 6 minutes or less. With that said, start your timer. We start today in North America, where a new proposed change to the judicial system in Mexico is receiving attention as the nation hopes to alter its constitution. From BBC, quote, proponents of the bill, among them President Andrés Manuel López Obrador, argued it would help hold judges accountable, but its critics say it erodes Mexico's system of checks and balances. The judicial reform has triggered strikes by judicial workers and demonstrations in several cities across the country. Supreme Court justices are the latest to have stopped work in protest at the planned measures, which would see magistrates and judges chosen by popular vote. Many actually worry that the direct elections could make the judges susceptible to the influence of large donors and the cartels, while others sweep aside these claims and focus on the accountability to the people. After 2 weeks, we return to Bangladesh, where the recent overthrow of the government has brought another issue into focus. The country for too long has relied on fast fashion production, the industry composing nearly 80% of its exports. From BBC, quote, the disruption is continuing. From Thursday, some 60 factories outside Dhaka were expected to be closed because of worker unrest. Staff has been protesting with various demands, including better wages. Recent events, quote, will impact the confidence level of brands, says Mohudi Rabu, a director at the country's Garments Manufacturers and Exporters Association, end quote. Many people are still worried within the country that relations with major trading partners such as China and India, as well as the United States, will be negatively impacted, only adding more pain to an already festering wound. An update has recently come out of Papua New Guinea, where a large earthquake has struck the north coast of the island, though there are no current reports about the whereabouts of people that possibly are missing. Though a German research center for geoscience has measured the earthquake as a magnitude 6 and says that it originated from 10 kilometers, or about 6.2 miles, under the surface of the Earth. In Sweden, the Queen of Trash has been facing a growing lawsuit as her trash empire seems to have been built on unsteady foundations. The government claims her company not only lied, but risked the health of people, animals, and the environment. From BBC, quote, Bella Nilsson is one of 11 people charged with aggravated environmental crime. She was chief executive of the waste management company NMT Think Pink, which is accused of dumping or burying 200,000 tons of waste in 21 locations between 2015 and 2020. Multiple municipalities are suing for damages related to the costs accrued from having to clean up the mess left behind by Think Pink. Some are asking for an amount as high as $25 million. Brazil is about to receive a very large investment from the motor company GM. The international motor maker wants to release a hybrid flex model in the country to compete with companies such as Stellantis and Honda. From Reuters, quote, on Wednesday, the firm said 5.5 billion reais of that amount will be invested in its operation in the São Paulo state, where it has 2 car factories. GM is the third largest automaker in Brazil by sales, according to data in the year through August from the Fenabrave Dealers Association. End quote. Multiple officials are more than happy to invite the investment, saying that the introduction of hybrid models will actually help the country reduce its overall carbon footprint. And lastly, we turn to Africa, where Eli Lilly has just signed an agreement to license one of its drugs, Omniland, excuse me if I'm mispronouncing it, to be manufactured by Eva Pharma, a company based out of Egypt. From Reuters, quote, Eva is set to begin sales of locally manufactured Omniland in 2026 to the African countries. Omniland is used for treating rheumatoid arthritis and hair loss caused by autoimmune diseases called alopecia areata. At a record amount of $922.6 million in sales last year. End quote. When the drug is to be distributed, Eva will sell it all across Africa in 49 different countries. With this step, the two companies have strengthened their business relationship that began in 2021. And if you want to check out any of today's articles, they'll all be linked in the description below that like and subscribe button. You can go read any one that you want. Also down there, you'll find the link to this episode series in the RSS feed. You can find it on Spotify, Pocket Cast, Podvine, and if you want to return to the podcast, it will also be in that RSS feed, or you can come back to this YouTube channel on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, released at the exact same time. And if you want to check out the Twitter handle at Your Daily Flip, where I post a Twitter tirade every Tuesday and Thursday at the same time that I'm releasing the 6 and 6. So, with all that said, there's only one more thing to say. Stay safe. Don't die.